So, team, I will be discussing this in detail, and these are all the 7 steps for preparing for the PMP exam. So, in the screen, I am displaying all the 7 steps, starting from 1 to 7. The first step in the 7 step journey towards PMP exam is becoming the PMI member. Even though becoming a PMI member is not optional, I mean, it's an optional one, it's not a mandatory, but still, I strongly recommending you first becoming a PMI member, right? You will be getting a lot of benefit by becoming a PMI membership from PMI. Anyway, I will be having a separate discussion on the first steps. And the second steps in the overall journey in the 7 step is mandatory training for 35 contract hours. In fact, while you're applying for the PMP exam, PMI will be asking the details of this particular detail. So about 35 contract hours, right? You need to document that. I will also be discussing this in detail in the subsequent session. The third step in preparing the PMP exam is you need to submit the PMP exam application form, right? So in fact, that itself will take around 1 to 2 weeks time from your side, and the fees for overall fees for the PMP exam is 555 US dollar. In fact, that is for the non-PMI member. If you are a PMI member, the cost is only 405 US dollar, right? So because you already paid the 129 US dollar for becoming a PMI member, that is there at the first step, right? The fourth step in the 7 steps journey is a receipt of PMP exam eligibility letter from PMI. Of course, you need not to do anything on the fourth step, but however, the PMI will evaluate your application form which you had submitted in the third step. But sometimes they may also ask you for some other details that is called as auditing. We'll also be discussing that in detail. What is auditing? What you need to do in auditing? What are the document they may ask? What are the things you need to do in detail? And again in the subsequent slide. The fifth step in preparing for the PMP exam is very important. That is, you will take 1 to 3 months time for preparing for the exam. Even though there are other providers which will tell after this training immediately and you can take the PMP exam, but I strongly recommend. So you pass the PMP exam. Yes, certification is very important, but however, after passing the PMP exam, you need to prepare. You need to write the exam very well, right? Number one, number two actually this will also be helpful for you to execute the project professionally. So that is what the step number 5. And the sixth step is, and you can contact the local prometric center for fixing your PMP exam. Right? I will also be discussing that in detail. The seventh step is, of course, execute, succeed, and celebrate. Time is 4 hours because the exam duration is 4 hours. Right? So with this, I'm just introducing you the 7 step journey in preparing this PMP exam. I will also be discussing each and every slide, right? Every steps in detail in the subsequent slide. And thanks for watching. We'll be discussing each and every steps in detail in the next subsequent slides. Thank you very much.